Next on Worcester News tonight, a fall tradition in central Massachusetts. Apple picking is in full swing at a Northborough farm. Plus, a local author shares his story about dealing with addiction in his family. Worcester residents get a first look at his book, Hey Kiddo. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemmon. There is no set date for when Cultivate Holdings in Leicester will start selling recreational marijuana, but the town's police department says it will be in the immediate future. Cultivate will be one of the first, if not the first, dispensary in the state to sell recreational marijuana. They have been selling medical since December 2017. Leicester Police Chief Jim Hurley says his officers are ready to deal with an increase in traffic and clients when the shops start selling recreational.
The issue that we're up against is this is not the type of problem that I can pick up the phone and call another police chief who's experienced it and ask him what he did. This is the first one in the state, so we have to be ready for just about anything.
And Chief Hurley says the department has built a good relationship with Cultivate and they meet on a regular basis. A public meeting this week will discuss the future of Kelly Square in Worcester. The infamous intersection is set to undergo a major renovation. The improvement project was announced when the Pawtucket Red Sox said they were coming to Worcester. The plan is set to address safety for all users, including motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians. Mass DOT is holding a meeting for public input at Crompton Collective at 6 p.m. Wednesday. A missing ATV rider is found safe in the woods thanks to first responders and Oxford Police Department's drone. Sutton police say the 58-year-old man was found in the woods off of Wittens Road around 8:30 Saturday morning. He went off-roading around noon on Thursday and hadn't been seen or heard from since then. Robert Amaral was found uninjured but disoriented in the woods. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and many survivors and doctors will tell you to be your own advocate. The disease affects thousands of women nationwide every year, and in central Massachusetts, one group is hoping to help patients in many ways. Our Brittany Schaefer joins us now with more. Brittany?
Olivia, Pink Hippie's goal is to support and give services to people with breast cancer. The organization started 5 years ago, and their president says it was a difficult time in her life. Dell Bashand was shocked after she received a breast cancer diagnosis 5 years ago.
I was diagnosed, and 1 year later my sister was diagnosed with a completely different kind of breast cancer, and we have no family history of breast cancer.
Bashand says her cancer was growing for 10 years, but was slow moving, so she was able to be treated. Now she's the president of Pink Hippie and helps others going through what she did.
We provide oncology massage, yoga, meditation, reflexology, Reiki, music and art therapy, and comfort items, all at no cost to cancer patients.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Bashand says it's important to emphasize a disease affecting 1 in 8 women.
We have to check ourselves, be insistent when we find something that we get looked at right away, that we all go for mammograms. If I hadn't gone for a mammogram, I wouldn't have found mine.
It gives us all a chance, especially many of us busy women, sometimes with families, careers, to really stop, take a minute for our own health and make sure we've checked in with our breasts recently.
The Breast Cancer Center at St. Vincent Hospital says thanks to new technology, the disease is becoming more easily detected.
I think the biggest thing that we've been talking about for the last couple years is 3D mammography, and that's the machine we're standing in front of today. So 3D mammography takes some extra pictures. We're picking up more breast cancers.
Bashand's advice to anyone with a recent cancer diagnosis is to be your own advocate.
It is an overloading diagnosis, so you really need to be comfortable with your doctors, with your team, with your treatment plan. That's the best advice I could give anybody.
Bashand is officially cancer-free. She says now that she's healthy, her main focus is helping others and spreading awareness. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The United Nations is sending out a life or death message about global warming. According to researchers, at its current rate, the atmosphere will warm by 2.7 degrees by 2040. That could lead to more food shortages, wildfires, and coral reef die-off. The damage could cost the world an estimated $54 trillion. Countries have a set goal limiting the increase to 1.8 degrees. The UN's report recommends limiting global warming to just under a single degree, but scientists don't believe it will be possible. A family tradition for many, apple picking is always popular this time of year. And even after a hot summer, staff at Tugas Farm in Northborough say there is no shortage of apples. Our Chandler Walsh joins us now with more. Chandler?
Olivia, the farm has about 30 acres of apples, and they say it's a good season this year. Hundreds of people chose to head there today for their holiday in search of the perfect fruit. A quick wagon ride and a bag bursting with apples. For families like the Andriatas, apple picking is all about the tradition.
An apple picture in the orchard with all the kids, and I'm going to use them as Christmas cards every year.
Phyllis Tugas says the high heat and rain this summer posed some worries about the apple crop. She says growers depend on the weather, and they had to keep a close eye on the fruit this year.
I was concerned that the apples weren't going to develop their pretty rosy cheeks, because when it's really hot at night, they don't do that, but all of a sudden the color came on.
Another challenge this year, Tugas says a low unemployment rate made it tough to find enough help.
But we have been able to find a lot of really good staff, and it's worked out in the end. We're just working long hours.
Tugas Farm in Northborough starts selling apples in mid-August, but with thousands of visitors at the farm this holiday weekend, it's their busiest time. Some varieties are already picked out, but Tugas says they still have plenty of late-season apples.
We spread the season out, so there's always something new that you didn't get on your last visit to pick.
The Kellys spent their Columbus Day searching for apples to make their annual apple crisp. There's no method to their picking patterns because they all have different favorites.
There's such a good variety of apples that we didn't know what it was going to come out like, so it was potluck apple crisp, so it was crunchy and soggy and squishy.
They plan to repeat their unplanned dessert this year.
As soon as you plan something, it never comes out great. When it's an accident, it's usually a little bit better.
Tugas says they plan to continue picking through the end of October, but say every season is different and advise checking their website for updates. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
He's typically known for writing children's books, but a Worcester native was going for something different with his latest book, Hey Kiddo. It tells his story about growing up with a mother addicted to drugs and the struggles he faced as a child. Our Rosalind Flaherty joins us now with more on his story. Rosalind?
Olivia, he wrote the book hoping to inspire others and to shed a light on kids who have a parent struggling with addiction. New York Times best-selling author Jarrett Krozoska wrote and illustrated his new book, Hey Kiddo, in hopes of helping others. The graphic memoir chronicles his childhood in Worcester while his mom was in and out of prison battling a heroin addiction.
It gives a presence to that problem that people don't often talk about.
Krozoska was raised by his grandparents and attended Holy Name Central Catholic High School. The book illustrates parts of Worcester and also has some of his old friends in it.
I'm hoping that many young people that also have addiction in their lives might be able to see themselves in this book.
Monday, he shared the book with family and friends at the Worcester Historical Museum. Many say they are proud of Krozoska for how well he's done.
He pulled his bootstraps up and moved forward.
He did stay in touch with his mom for most of her life until the last couple of years when she started getting into trouble again. She died of a heroin overdose in 2017 at 62 years old. Krozoska says it was hard at times to relive events when he was writing it, but as much as he was writing it for others, he was also writing the book for her.
As much as she wanted to live a life as she wanted to, she wasn't able to because of that addiction.
Now, the book hits shelves tomorrow. He also got a key to the city from the mayor. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
The Worcester Fire Department holding its Firefighters Memorial Sunday. The somber event honors members of the department who passed away, including 26 retired members who died during the past year. City and state leaders were at the memorial services. In a tweet, the department says it's important to remember and honor those who served before us. And it ended up being a beautiful day Sunday for the city's annual Columbus Day Parade. Dozens of politicians, organizations, and high schools marched down Shrewsbury Street for the 24th annual parade. The parade was originally created to honor the city's Italian heritage, but has evolved into a multicultural celebration. There will be an encore presentation of the parade Friday at 7 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. on Charter TV3.